Well, good evening.
Good evening.
That's rhetorical, wasn't it?
It's a good evening.
It is a good evening. It's good and cold. And it's hard for me to follow a speaker like Representative Artur Davis. He does such a great job. And he's running as a Democrat and I'm running as a Republican. But I can tell you, we have a lot of ideas alike. And I've always enjoyed being with him and working with him over the years. But you know, y'all have a real problem, and I know that it's facing obviously all of you here, and that's dealing with the education of your children or your grandchildren or somebody that you're associated with that has a pact with Alabama. Let me repeat what Representative Davis said, Congressman Davis said. I believe, and I have said this consistently, my views have not changed since last year, that the state of Alabama not only has a moral obligation, but they have a legal obligation to honor every pact fully. Not partially, fully. Just recently, as you know, the pact board, I think, preempted a great opportunity that you have. What they did is they decided that they would fix the tuition level. And you remember, y'all all know about this, you've read about it. And what that did is I think it may have taken a little pressure off of some legislators because they can now think that the pact board is solving the problem. And it also preempted your opportunity to put pressure on your legislators. Because, ladies and gentlemen, do you know what this year is? It's an election year. This is the year to fix the problem. It's not next year. It's this year. And you need to put all the pressure you can possibly put on your local legislator, your senator and your House member. You know, I think that what we're going to have to do, I serve House District 63 from Tuscaloosa, and I am running for governor. I'm a lieutenant candidate for governor. I mean, I have a lieutenant, a Republican candidate for governor, not lieutenant governor. But I have one more year in the legislature. I worked on this problem last year, but we weren't quite at the stage then that I thought that we could get anything done. We tried a few things, but they were done in haste and really, I don't think, done very well. I think the first thing we need to do in the legislature this year is this. We need to take ownership of the PACs. And that's the first bill we need to pass. We need to say in the bill, regardless of what else we do, we need to say, the legislature needs to say that the state of Alabama owns these PACs and we're going to honor every one fully. And that's what we need to do. Now, once we do that, once we get that through, and I think that is what we need to work on first. Once we get that through, then we can work on some monetary solutions. And actually, I have heard of really no monetary solutions yet. There is a bill, Representative Wren's bill. He's not here. There he is back there. I saw him back there. But I think that Representative Wren's bill does a good job in taking ownership of the PAC. And I'll let him talk about that in just a few minutes. But if we take ownership of the PAC, then I think we need to come up with some monetary solutions. One of the solutions that I have, once we take ownership of the PAC program, is a program that I worked on last year. I didn't finalize it last year. I have it ready to submit at the present time, but I have not done it yet because I'm waiting on to see if we take ownership. What I think we need to do, and I know that most people and some people in here will talk about extending PAC and continuing PAC because it's a great program, and it is a great program. But I think the program has to be closed down. And I think every PAC participant has to be totally honored. Every contract has to be honored, but I think eventually the program is going to have to be phased out. Now, what I have proposed is this, is to give, now the people of Alabama will have to vote on this. That's why we want to take ownership of it first. And then if it doesn't work, we'll do something else. But once you take ownership of it, That says that the legislature and the state of Alabama will solve the problem eventually. What I think that we need to do is I think that we need to take the $600 million approximately that we have right now, give it a little time. I think we need to give it at least a year to give the PAC board time to make some decision on how to do this. But take the $600 million, if that's what it is, and put it into an annuity-like program. It could be a laddered CD fund. I don't want to put it in bonds because they're not guaranteed, but CDs are. It could be a CD fund. It could be an annuity with some of the best insurance companies who have been in existence for 150 years, like Northwestern Mutual, Mass Mutual, Guardian, and New York Life. Those companies could put it into an annuity-like program, and I talked to them last year, and they guaranteed last year that we could get between $35 and $40 million a year for 20 years. So what you do is you put it into guaranteed paid out for 20 years at approximately $35 to $40 million. Now we need about 22 to 25 more million right now. So where do we get that money? There is only one pot of money out there, and that's the Alabama Trust Fund. Now, what we should do, I think, is out of the corpus of that money is to borrow the money that's needed to pay the difference. And with attrition of students, by about the 10th year, there will be more money available than is needed to pay off the contract. Then what we do is we take that excess money and we pay it back to the Alabama Trust Fund. That way we can say that it's a loan. It's not a bailout. And if the people of Alabama have to vote on it, we say this is a loan to the PAC board, if necessary, to fulfill the contracts. And at the end of 20 years, in my bill, it says this must be fully paid back. So it's a loan. And that's how we couch it. Now, the people of Alabama would have to vote on that because anytime you take money out of the Alabama Trust Fund, they have to vote on that. It's a constitutional amendment. Now, you say, well, that won't pass. Well, what if it doesn't pass? Then we come back and we find another solution because we've already taken ownership of it. But it is a way, and it is something that I've looked at. I've looked at it with the Legislative Fiscal Office. The only caveat in this is this right here. If higher education continues to increase their fees at double digits, then that would throw a monkey wrench into it. But let me say this. Let's don't fight that battle yet. Let's fight that battle in 2 or 3 years. See, once you get something into place, you can fight the battle with higher ed. There's no sense in fighting the battle with higher ed right now. Let's put something in place, and then we can fight the battle in 2 or 3 years if we see that they're going to have to freeze tuition or do something for our PAC boards. For our PAC contracts. But I will let some of the other legislators in a few minutes talk. Like I say, Representative Wren is here, and that's part of his bill. But I just appreciate y'all letting me come tonight. I've been to how many, Patty? About 8 or 10 of these.
It's been a journey.
That's right. We were at Scottsboro last Monday night, weren't we?
And Gadsden
Tuesday night. But thank y'all for letting me come.